Hey there, this is your girl Candace Self coming at you all the way live from sunny South Florida. Actually, it's not so sunny today, but anyway, I'm here to talk to you about a new endeavor that I'm getting ready to undertake. It's a challenge that's issued every year by the Three Rivers Homestead channel. The Three Rivers Challenge, basically. I'm not the typical channel that participates in this type of challenge. This is a pantry challenge, and it's normally undertaken by people who own homesteads or at least who have gardens, who have farms or things of that nature. I don't do any canning and I don't have a homestead. In fact, I'm an urban chick living in Miami. But I'm doing this challenge because I have goals that I can achieve through doing this challenge. And what the challenge entails is eating out of your pantry and not going grocery shopping or doing very minimal grocery shopping for 2 months. The challenge takes place every year in January and February. And for those 2 months, you can make whatever rules you want. You can decide you're only going to shop for $25 a month during those 2 months, or you're going to not buy anything at all during those 2 months, and that you're only going to eat out of your pantry, your freezer, whatever it is you have in your home. Now, most of the people who are doing this challenge have been canning all year. They have vegetables canned up. They have even meals sometimes canned up, or at least meal components canned up. I'm going to be eating out of my pantry and my refrigerator and my freezer, which is a typical, one that you would have in a small apartment. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm doing this challenge. Why would I undertake something like this? Well, I actually have 10 reasons, and I have my notes right here, so you might see me looking at them. One of the reasons is I want to avoid food waste. Americans apparently throw out 30 to 40% of their food every single year. And I'm just as guilty as the next gal in not using stuff, especially when you're, a party of one or two, not using all the food fast enough that you buy. I've also apparently gone through every diet known to man in the past year. I've hopped from the vegan diet to eating gluten-free to eating, high protein, and things of that nature. So I'm really an omnivore. I like to dabble in the vegan diet, and I've actually gotten some good gains out of what I finally fell on in the past few months. I've actually lost like over 20 pounds, eating a high protein diet, whether I do it, by eating vegan foods or whether I do it by eating, meat. So part of my, goal this year is to actually use up and learn from these experiences and actually use up the things that I've bought. Hey, I'm not the only person who watches the cooking channel on the Food Network. I'm not the only person who watches YouTube and decides, oh, I want to go ahead and make that gluten-free bread and buy all the materials to make the gluten-free bread and never make it, right? So I want to make sure I use up all of these products and make sure that I avoid food waste, instead of having them languish in my pantry. So I also want to use up spices that I have. I've had spices for years, and we all know spices tend to lose their taste and their efficacy after a while. And, I've watched these channels and thought about these dishes that I could make, and I bought these spices and they're just languishing in my cabinet. So I want to actually learn how to cook in different ethnicities. I want to actually learn how to cook better and spice my food better. I actually want to use the spices in my cabinet and roll them over, turn them over so that they can stay fresh. I want to expand my food knowledge. Right? I want to learn how to bake bread from scratch. I want to learn how to bake gluten-free bread and regular bread, and things of that nature. I want to learn how to cook better. And definitely the creativity that I'm going to have to employ to not go shopping and to eat what I have here in the house is actually going to force me to cook better. I'll be cooking more often. I won't be ordering in, right? So that's one of the things. So that also helped me with, so it'll help me expand my food knowledge, like to learn how to do different things that I don't know, how to do a sourdough starter and things of that nature. It will also help me improve my cooking skills, obviously. The more you cook, the more you write books, the better you get at it, right? So I'm going to go ahead and improve my skills by doing it more often. So that'll be a good thing. I want to eat healthier. I want to stick to my macros, right? I set macros for myself, no more than 1,800 calories a day and aiming to get like 150 250 grams of protein, whether I do it eating vegan foods or whether I do it eating non-vegan foods. So I want to go ahead and stick to my macros. I want to eat healthier and I want to be conscious of what I'm eating. Right. So actually doing this challenge is going to make me meal prep and meal plan and cook more and not order in or drive through. So that'll be a good thing to also help me to eat healthy over these 2 months. It'll help me to stick to my macros as well, which is the other reason I came up with. And it's going to help me save money. If I'm buying new food, how many times have we bought something 2 and 3 times thinking we didn't have it? I have enough rice in there to kill people. Like, it doesn't make any sense for me to buy any more brown rice. I have 2 or 3 of everything in there, 2 or 3 of things I haven't even used. Like, I don't even know, bags of almond flour and boxes of protein pasta. It makes no sense, like, not to know what you have before you go out to the supermarket again. So this is forcing me to doing an inventory of my pantry, to eat through what I already have in my pantry instead of going out and buying more and spending more money. It's also going to save me money because I won't be driving through and I won't be ordering in. So it's going to save me a ton of money that way, because we all know how expensive eating out and ordering in is getting, how expensive food in general is getting. So it's going to save me money that way. I'm going to learn new skills. I may actually learn how to can or pickle something or ferment something or dehydrate something. I don't have canning equipment or dehydrating equipment, but I could learn pickling. I could learn fermenting. I could learn how to make mixes. So it's going to actually help me learn new skills that I don't already have, which is really cool. I would like to learn new food skills and get good at it. It's also going to get me good at bulk buying. I have a 10-pound bag of black beans in there, organic black beans that I bought, I don't even know how long ago. And the expiration date, passed in May of this year. You can eat beans past the expiration date, but they start to lose their efficacy after a while. But, if I'm not going to eat black beans, then I shouldn't be buying black beans in bulk, right? But if I am going to eat black beans, if I learn how to cook them from scratch, then I can save a heck of a lot of money from, instead of buying all those cans, right? So this bag of black beans costs me X, but all the cans of beans that I would have to buy to make up what I can cook from this in my Instant Pot, would cost me more. So if I want to learn how to bulk buy in a good way. I want to learn how to bulk buy the things that I actually use. Because when you bulk buy, the amount per pound, the amount per ounce that you spend is going to be a lot less, right? And also, if you bulk buy at the right places, you can get organic food, or food that's non-GMO at a lower price. So I want to learn how to do that. I want to get good at bulk buying and make sure that if I am bulk buying, I'm buying the things that I need and use, as opposed to things that are on a whim. And this challenge is going to make me learn more about myself, right? It's going to make me learn more about, myself in general. My mother was a fantastic cook, and I used to cook more than I do now. And I've lost some of those skills over time. And I want to, learn more about, how I learn things, learn more about what I like to eat, learn more about what's good for my body and what's not good for my body, learn more about, myself in general. So I think this challenge is actually going to help me learn things about perseverance and grit, determination and creativity. And they say when you impose limits on yourself, you actually get more creative and you actually, go beyond the boundaries and reach for more. So I'm going to see where this can take me and how it can go. All right. So you're probably wondering what rules I'm imposing on myself for this challenge, because you can pick whatever rules you want. And I've decided that I'm not going to spend more than $25 a month on any food products. So that may be getting fresh vegetables, getting an item or two that I don't have, maybe getting fresh cheese or fresh milk or whatever the case may be. But I'm not going to spend more than $50 over the next 2 months in food. And that's actually going to be a good thing. And I have enough food in here. Forget it. Between my freezers, my refrigerator, and my pantry, I have enough food in here. So I'm not going to starve by any stretch of the imagination. So that's the only limit I'm imposing on myself, $25 a month for any food products. And it could be anything I want to buy. And that's going to be a huge savings on my food budget. Between going out, eating in, or buying all kinds of madness, right, to put in my cabinets, it's going to save me a lot of money. Even if you're single, you can barely get out of the supermarket for like $100. If you're buying, especially if you're buying organic and other type goods. All right. Without further ado, I'm going to show you what I mean by some of the things that I have in my pantry, some of the things that I want to get through. So hold on. We'll come right back. Okay, so I've taken out all this stuff to give you a good picture of the types of things that I was talking about during my intro. For example, I have all these weird protein powders that I bought, apparently for some sort of recipe. Like I know in some cases, I bought the egg white protein and the pumpkin seed protein powder to bake a, a gluten-free bread. It was for a gluten-free bread recipe that I'd never made. So during this challenge, I'm going to actually make that bread and see if it's good. And I'm going to go ahead and try it. And I have all this stuff from my vegan phase. For example, textured vegetable protein, soy mince, and this mild plant taco meatless crumbles that I've never used. And I've never really mastered how to cook tempeh. So during this challenge, I'm actually going to cook these vegan protein sources and uh, and learn how to cook them and learn how to apply them into meals. Now, speaking of vegan protein sources, I also went nuts and got heavily into a whole bunch of high protein pastas. For example, this edamame and mung bean pasta. I had 2 boxes of this. I cooked 1 box and I didn't love it, but I'm going to try it again and give it a real chance. Green lentil lasagna, which is high protein lasagna. That's also vegan. So I'm going to actually try that. These are no bake lasagna noodles. Or is brahmi pasta, which I actually cooked to good use. Actually, this is the best high protein pasta I've seen so far. But I still also have some banza pasta to get through, chickpea pasta. So I'll be cooking these during the challenge and making some vegan meals out of these. And so that I can use them up and not let them go to waste. I also have some weird pastas like this angel hair pasta, which is made out of hearts of palm. Truth be told, I have 6 boxes of this and I would never eat it because it doesn't appeal to me at all. But because I'm doing this challenge, I'm going to get through this angel hair pasta, this pasta made out of hearts of palms. And the thing is, I bought it because it was vegan, because it's made of hearts of palm. Hearts of palm is supposed to be really good for you. And I thought I would get a whole bunch of nutrient benefits out of it. But apparently, this is so processed, this product, that I'm probably not going to get the nutrients that I hope to get from it, which is really sad. So you live and you learn, but did I have to learn by buying 6 boxes of it? So that's one of the reasons why I'm going to this challenge. And then I have these grains that I never fully mastered, like couscous. Like, so this whole week, couscous, I need to learn pearl couscous. I need to learn how to use that. Farro, which is supposed to be really healthy for you, but I don't know how to cook it. And I've never cooked it. And it's been sitting in my cabinet doing nothing for a long time. Quinoa. I just made my first decent quinoa and I have this nice big bag of it. So I want to learn how to perfect my cooking methods for it and learn how to cook it better. And then this grain-free cassava orzo. Apparently I was like thinking about doing keto and was trying to, or paleo or something, and bought this grain-free cassava orzo and never used it. And it's just sitting there in my cabinet, gathering dust. And these are the things that I want to avoid. These are the things that I want to learn more about and cook and see if I actually like them and see if I ever want to buy them again. I don't want them just sitting in my cabinet doing nothing because that's food waste, right? And then there are these weird flours. I have no idea. Like this is organic chickpea flour that I never use. It's been sitting in my cabinet forever. And I actually want to start using it and make some vegan recipes from it. And then I have golden flaxseed meal, which apparently I also bought for that bread recipe. So that'll get to go to good use for the gluten-free bread recipe. Then I have buckwheat flour, which I used to make buckwheat pancakes, but then I stopped. And the buckwheat flour is really good for you. So I want to actually make more recipes using it. And I want to use this flour before it goes bad. Like it shouldn't just sit in your cabinet for 5 years, right? Not that it's been 5 years. And then there's this weird thing like oat fiber. I think this goes into that bread we were talking about, the gluten-free bread, but I'm not sure. Either way, I got to figure out how to use this again so it's not sitting in my cabinet. And then there are these sweeteners. Oh, wait, they're not done with gluten-free. So for the gluten-free bread, I have things like psyllium husk powder and things like arrowroot, which is like a thickener you would use in place of cornstarch. So I want to learn how to use these things better and use them more often so that they're not sitting in my cabinet. And then there's this cacao powder that I've had for way too long. I don't want it to go bad, and I need to use that. I don't know, probably in smoothies and stuff. We'll see. I think you can make hot chocolate out of it and things of that nature. I want to learn how to use that better, and I think I can use it in baking. And I'm out of cocoa powder. I think I'm on my last drag, so this is going to be my thing. I'm not buying anymore until I use up this cacao powder. And then I have weird sweeteners because I think I was thinking keto or non or sugar substitutes. I have this huge bag of allulose, which I better figure out how to use. And I was thinking about maybe jams or something. Maybe I could do an allulose based jam or something like that, or use it for baking. I'm not even sure if I can use it for baking. I need to learn more about this and use this bag of allulose so it doesn't go to waste. And then I bought this monk fruit extract, nothing else. And I think it's because it has scare with erythritol. And I was afraid of buying monk fruit that had erythritol in it. So I bought this extract thinking it'd be better. But it's just sitting in my cabinet and I'm not using it. So I want to use things like this better. Talking about my baking kick, I do have these gluten-free flours, like almond flour. And this is not the only bag I have this, by the way. And almond flour doesn't last forever. So I need to learn how to use it and to actually use it, right? I also have a big black bag of coconut flour, and this is not the only coconut flour I have. And so I need to use things like these almond flours and this coconut flour in recipes during this challenge. And then I have this whole wheat organic flour. I have artisan bread flour, and it's taken me 5 years, a long time. I always say 5 years, but at least one, to get through this bag of whole wheat flour. And so I need to actually bake this bread from scratch because bread is like $50 million in the supermarket, especially if you want a good quality of bread product. And I need to learn how to bake bread from scratch and actually use it so that I'm not wasting these flours and so that they don't go rancid in my cabinets. All right. And then also I have these bulk things that I've bought, like this 10 pound bag of black beans that I got from Costco. Now, this bag expired in May of 2023, but beans don't really go bad. They just lose their efficacy, right? They lose their vitamins. Luckily for me, it hasn't been a year since the expiration date. So but these are old beans, and I really do need to cook them up and use them and use them in recipes more often. And then I have this huge bag of organic brown basmati rice, which I'm ashamed to say I've had for years. And brown rice doesn't stay good forever. So I need to cook this up. And I'm also ashamed to say it's not my only brown rice. I have so many other bags and whatever containers full of brown rice. So I need to use up what's oldest first, and then I need to get to the other ones. And then here I have these pinto beans. Now these expired, but I haven't used them either. And so they're still good, and I need to actually use these pinto beans and cook from scratch. I also have other things like lentils in my cabinets or whatever that I haven't cooked either. That takes me down here to my cabinet. And as you can see, I have enough tomato paste to kill people. It's like ridiculous how much tomato paste I have. And I haven't gone through it yet. I also have things like big bags of rolled oats, enough lemon juice to kill people, and more pasta. And also my guilty pleasure, a whole bunch of Annie's like macaroni and cheese. So these are things that I'm going to need to use up during the course of the challenge. And that brings me to my spice cabinet. As you can see here, I have 2 rows of spices. And the stuff here on top, I mean, some of it's new, but the stuff in beyond the first row, I haven't cooked with in ages, and I've had for way too long. So I need to use up some of these spices so I can recirculate them or never buy them again. And that way they can stay fresher. So that's one of my goals for the challenge. And I'm ashamed to show you the state of my cabinet. So I'm going to have to organize all this stuff and actually use it. But as you can see, I have more rice. I have salad dressings that I've never used that are just sitting here in bottles. I have tea that I've never drunk. I have things like lentils that I've never cooked. I have all kinds of lentils that I haven't cooked. And then here, I have tons of beef broth, which I don't know why, but I have at least 5 of those things of beef broth. I have a whole bunch of stuff in these cabinets that I haven't cooked and they're just sitting here forever. So I'm going to be going through these during the course of the challenge. And I'm probably going to end up throwing out some stuff too. We'll have to see, things that are way too old. And obviously, we want to avoid food waste. In here, I have things like pumpkin seeds I've never used. They don't stay good forever. I have more orzo, and I have nuts and raisins that I haven't used, things of that nature. So I obviously need to go through that as well. So as you can see, I really do need to get through this challenge and do the best that I can. And all of this doesn't begin to address the disaster that is my freezer, in which I have foods that have been in here for way too long. But just to give you an idea, I have a whole bunch of these fish products that I bought when I was part of this Wild Alaskan Company membership that I have to use up. 'Cause, I mean, obviously, this fish was very expensive. It's really good fish, very high quality, and I've never used it. I have things like the smoked pork shanks from Publix that I have no idea how to use and that I need to figure out because otherwise they're just sitting there until they go bad. And I also have like these nameless and faceless freezer meals that I didn't even bother to label. So don't ask me what the heck this is. I think it's soup, but your guess is as good as mine. And there are more freezer meals and stuff. So I'm going to be getting through my freezer and making sure I do a reset and using up these, broth and other things that I have in here, frozen cheese and other things that I have in here, freezer meals that I can't identify, and things of that nature. So as you can see, I definitely will not starve during the challenge. And I have a lot of projects and things that I need to work on and things that I need to cook and things that I need to learn about myself and about the food that I have back here during the course of the next 2 months. I hope you come on this journey with me. I'll be doing at least a video a week showing you all my mishaps and everything I cook during the course of the weeks. So you'll be able to see me struggle through cooking those vegan products, cooking those gluten-free products, trying to bake bread and things of that nature. You'll get to come along with me on this journey and hopefully we can learn things together. Writing videos. I'm also going to be dropping writing videos as well because as some of you know, I'm an attorney and a book coach and an author. So I'll be taking you, I have some writing projects that I'm going to be doing along the way as well. And I'll be taking you on that journey as well. Take care.